Hey, Instagram. It's Thursday. Is it Thursday? It is Thursday. Yeah, it's quarantine time. Tough to keep up with the days. Hope everyone had a good day today. It's getting, I don't know, is this getting old? Are people used to this? I don't know. I had a good day. I worked out in the driveway again with my trainer, 10 feet away. Getting my heart going again. I'm feeling alive. And I hope everyone is just feeling okay right now. I know it's a crappy time for a lot of people, and it's a weird time for everybody. But you know, we're all kind of in this together, and so my guest is here. So my secret guest, go ahead and see if you can ask to join, request to join. I've been. I'll tell my guest what we've been doing this week, but I want to thank Seth MacFarlane for Monday, Craig Robinson for Tuesday, Gary Janetti for last night. I've got Jay Lee coming up tomorrow night, and tonight I have the Joe to my Cleveland, Patrick Warburton, is going to be joining me any split second, and there he is. Hey,
Mike,
how you doing,
how you
Patrick?
I'm doing very well. I just poured my very first tequila.
You know what? Oh, did you? What do you got there? A little tequila moonrise? What is that?
Orange. In the reposados, the dart, you put orange. You don't put lime in.
You know what? I got some reposado right here, my friend.
There you go.
I got no orange in there though. I'm just kissing it.
Class A's we love these guys because they have been our sponsor for my St. Jude event for 10 years.
Yeah.
And flow us this lovely juice for 10
Nice.
years.
That's
Yes.
great. I'm glad you've never invited me to come. But
I'm pretty sure you were invited.
I'm just kidding. You know
Do you
what?
golf?
You know what? We joined a club for a little while, and I just never played. And so I play once a year with my son when we go on vacation. So that's about it. But I can, if something's coming up, I wouldn't let you down. Is it a best ball tournament?
No, everybody plays their own ball.
Oh well, then screw it. I'm screwed.
It's pretty serious, Mike.
I don't want to come.
Pretty serious.
I'll drink tequila with you. But so you're in California, correct?
Yeah.
And
Not far from New York, here.
What part of LA are you? Just south of LA? Where do you live?
No, we're in Ventura County, so we're in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm in Virginia right now.
Oh, you're in Virginia. Oh,
Yeah. It's getting dark here. But I appreciate you coming on here. And I told you a little bit beforehand what we're doing. I've just been talking with, the quarantine's got us all just kind of locked up, and it's got me reprioritizing and just thinking about what's important, and so I also want to be creative, and so I busted out some wigs out of storage and posted some silly stuff a couple weeks ago, and then a buddy asked me to come on one of these, and I said, this is so cool, I didn't even know we could do this, so I'm stealing your idea. And so the thing that I enjoy talking about is getting the most out of your life, and not to get too heavy, and we'll have plenty of jokes here, but I've just been talking to successful creative people about following that creative passion.
Well, if you want to talk about it, successful creative people who are busy. Come here, Town. My son Town just walked by. Come on, say hello. Say hello.
Is that Joe Jr.?
Yeah. No, but I think you remember he did do a mean Herbert back in
let's hear it.
No, that's on the spot.
Come on now, I love children.
Fuck. Okay, all right. Language. Hey,
he's got a mouth on him.
Oh, you like popsicles? Got a cellar full of popsicles.
That's not bad. That's not
bad.
My Joe's a little bit better though. That's my specialty.
Oh hell yeah! All right.
But he just did what's the game? Final Fantasy.
Oh, it was the Final Fantasy VII remake. I was some of the background characters in that, and then
oh sweet,
we were dicking around in the booth. And I did an impersonation of him, and he's like, "Well, we're keeping that." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go in the game." So
nice.
So now I've got everybody on Twitter telling me that they've heard me on this game. which I'm not doing, I go, that's my son Talon, who's going to steal every job ever from me. And you know what? I'm glad.
With any luck.
I've had a good run, Mike. I've had a good run.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is he's much cheaper.
I am much cheaper. I am a cheap whore. I don't work for SAG scale. I'll do it for a Slurpee and like a hot dog or something. I don't know. I'm desperate right now.
Okay.
You heard it here. Look at that.
What's that?
You heard it here.
Yeah. Very, very handsome chip off the old block there.
I was fishing for that. Thank you. Yeah. I got dollars.
I loved it. I love seeing you. I gotta warm that voice up.
You're in your age range for that. My balls have dropped. I don't know if that's.
Oh, forget it. No, I'm not kidding. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do too much of that live action. You know. It's funny when
it'll ruin you.
Funny when you see a cartoon saying it. Well, that's cool. So there's acting in your family now. When you were little, like when did you realize that you had a knack for acting or comedy, and you're a musical as well, correct?
Well, music I didn't even dabble with. I didn't even take a singing lesson or do anything until the tender age of 48 years old.
Okay.
And now I have a garage band, but I know what it really is. It's a dad band. That's all right. Not a compliment, and I know that's a thing, honey. And but it's the most fun I've ever had, and I'm not going to quit my day job, but I do have my little Pearl Jam. This is like my Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains bar right here. But I have other things. Look, see, I've got, you know what that is right there? That is Zeppelin 4 signed by all four, including.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow.
That's Jerry Cantrell and Billy Duffy playing in my backyard at my 40th birthday. Pretty cool. I've got some fun stuff at my bar. This right here is half of a bra. Okay. The story here.
Did Betty Ford throw it at you?
I saw the Cult one time at a bar in at the Sundance Film Festival, and some girl threw her bra up on stage to Ian, and he had it. And Ian took her bra, and then he threw it down, and I grabbed one half, and some other guy grabbed the other half, and we both pulled, and so each of us got half of a bra.
That's awesome.
The great Ian Astbury held this bra at one point. It's not perfumey or anything anymore. It was a long time ago, I guess.
So you wished for half a bra, and it came through.
Every now and then, what ends up happening is like every 5 or 10 years go by, and then Kathy, my wife, forgets the story, and she's like, "Remind me why you have this bra, which is not mine, here," and you're probably going to have to tell her the story again.
Right. So, Patrick, when did you figure this out? Did you do plays in school? Did you?
I didn't do plays in school. I thought that I was going to go through college like everybody else and get a job, but that wasn't going great.
And where you grew up in New Jersey? Is that right?
No, I was born in New Jersey, but I grew up in Huntington Beach, California.
You did? Okay. And so what were you like in high school? You were an athlete, right?
Not so much. That's my wife who keeps laughing.
You got the peanut gallery there. Hello.
She's cruel. I wrestled in high school, not for long, just until I came. But I wish that was my material.
Wow.
Hey, Mike, I told you we'd be drinking.
It's fine. You know, I'm right here with you, brother. Yeah. So wait, you grew up in Huntington Beach. So then when did you start acting? Now listen. So was this something you felt like and you just never acknowledged? Like, when did the performing bug sort of take over?
Well, I guess it would have been like freshman year in college. I went to Orange Coast College, junior college, and wasn't taking things terribly seriously.
Your mother was an actress, honey.
My mother was an actress.
Yes, that's how we knew. His mother was an actress. Hey!
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So mom was an actress, so I did grow up going to see her, like, community theater and stuff. What'd you fix there for yourself?
Oh, this is guava and mango, seltzer, and vodka.
Wow, that sounds like
really
vacation.
Been bringing the alcoholics of us out here.
That's great. That's great. You guys are having fun.
Tastes like our honeymoon.
And somebody just said it's a real life Bonnie.
A real life Bonnie, I know.
Right.
Is wife Bonnie a bitch?
Does she change you?
No, it's just my wife in a cartoon that you never watch.
No, I've seen. No.
Fair
You know
enough.
what? I know
Nobody's
that.
ever said you were a bitch, ever.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Y'all hash this out. I'll be back.
I'm gonna leave you alone.
Is this the train wreck we
Okay.
were looking for? This is like the Tiger King over here.
No, this is all good, man. It's you. I want authentic. I want to know who you are.
You're getting
And,
it. So,
yeah.
I started going up to Los Angeles and just, studying theater.
Yeah. Okay. In
But
college or
I
or
did
no?
get it.
Outside of college.
Yeah.
Who did
Outside,
you study with?
I studied with David Baird,
Mm-hmm.
and he used to teach the Whitefire Theater, and he was a really fine writer, director. He wrote a play called Scorchers, which they did for 4 years at the West End in London. He wrote amazing things and other interesting things. Like he did a movie called My Chauffeur years ago that literally had bigger box office than at the time The Color Purple.
Okay.
And it was crazy, but it was just like one of these teen comedy love stories.
Right.
But he also did some really interesting projects. He wrote a play called Scorchers, and then when he did the film, Denholm Elliott, James Earl Jones, Faye Dunaway, it was an interesting cast. I worked on that with them. But he was just a great director. And I found a acting coach, a great acting coach.
Who?
David, because it was all about positivity. And I had found in a lot of acting workshops that a lot of times acting coaches, they act like, there's a level of magic and mystery, and they have the answers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of posturing, and it's kind of gross. And David was just always let's figure out how to make this work. And he encouraged everybody. So when all of us would come into class, and most actors are just damaged goods anyways, and we're weak, we're not terribly confident. A lot of us were, looking for acceptance,
Yeah.
And we're vulnerable. And so everybody who would go into his workshop and audition would suck, and he would just focus on the positive things. Like,
Yeah.
how about that? Their stage presence or their voice or this or that. And through just being positive, he got everybody to grow. So in my class with David, this back when I was 22 years old, was Luke Perry.
Okay.
Luke Perry was still shoveling asphalt. This is before Luke ended up getting on Beverly Hills 90210.
Sure.
And I was talking to Luke the night before Luke had his stroke about David Baird just passing away and going to his memorial service.
Shit. Yeah. That sort of feeds into like what all this is about, this thing, there's so much mortality and apparent right now in the world, and so much uncertainty that I think it's just time to do what the hell you want to do, and I think you're lucky that you found that when you did, and in your early 20s, and you just went for it. And that's when I found it too. When I was 24, I moved to LA I had no experience whatsoever. I started doing stand-up and groundlings and stuff. And so, I think it's, I don't know. I just think it's a good time. The present is the time to start rocking what's ticking inside you and what it is that you want to do. So at the time, were you doing like odd jobs, or did you work at did you have a job? What did you do?
I was lucky because I got like TV commercials and stuff, and I discovered early on. I was living with my one of my besties, my buddy Greg. We had gotten a place across the street from the beach in Santa Monica, and it was a
Where was
two-bedroom. It was right off of Chautauqua.
Okay.
By Patrick's Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Cool joint, cool area.
Yeah.
It was $1,000 a month for a 2-bedroom.
There you go.
So he and I are paying $500 a month for rent. And all we got to do is knock out a commercial or two a year. And that paid for rent, booze, food. And life was so easy. 2 years later, I was married with a child, living in Van Nuys in a condo and a mortgage payment. I was like, that happened fast.
Yeah.
But we had it so easy down there, because that's really, if you had a decent commercial agent, you could book a commercial or two a year. That's all you needed.
Yeah.
I got it through.
Good for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hustled commercials for a long time. I booked a few, but I had to wait tables and do PA work and lived off my credit cards a lot, and
Yeah.
just kept the dream alive that way. I couldn't
Yeah.
get a real job, like that just wouldn't work for me. But so then in your early 20s, and then was Seinfeld your big break? I know it probably was for exposure, right?
Well, it certainly was for exposure. What I had found at that point was that was sort of my niche. When I was 22, I did get the opportunity to go to South Africa for 4 months and do 2 movies with Oliver Reed.
Sweet.
It was an amazing experience because Reed was a legend and he played the villain. I played the good guy. The movies are unwatchable. They're terrible. They're really horrible. And I am the worst thing in them.
Got to start somewhere, eh?
You got to start somewhere, but it wasn't like work that begets work. Like I didn't do those films in Africa and come back and all of a sudden, hey, the offers are rolling in. I mean, these were films I didn't want anybody to see because I was just horrible.
Right.
But they were exploitation pieces. They were stupid movies, and they were designed to be that way. And so I started doing, going on sitcoms, and I ended up doing a guest spot on Ellen DeGeneres' sitcom.
Yeah.
And they liked my character, and they brought me back. And then I did some other sitcoms. I did a guest spot on Dave's World, where I played the washing machine repair guy, and they liked my character, and they brought me back. And then they made me a regular on the show. And then I did Seinfeld, and that was just a oneer. And then they liked my character, and they brought me back. So I was doing characters that people liked, and they would bring me back, and then want to make me regulars on the show. And that's how I ended up. That was how I got in. Was
right.
sitcom.
Now, were you obviously as an actor you make choices? You get pages and you audition, and you make choices based on what you can deduce from the script and what you know about the show or whatever. How were you just super conscious of this, or did you just go in and just sort of in the moment do it a certain way? Like it seems effortless to you. You're the offbeat, like just in Ted, it's just so off. Your timing, it's just fucking hilarious. Now, are you conscious of any of that, or are you just kind of in the moment just doing your thing?
Well, thanks, Mike. I feel like I found myself, although I've always considered myself to be an actor. I don't get called that maybe an awful lot, but I love the art. I love theater. I love doing dramatic pieces just as much. I've had some really cool, interesting opportunities, but I guess where I found really success and what I'm known, and as you know in this industry, they kind of put you in a box. And so when you do stuff, and if you do characters bigger than life, sometimes it's hard for them to see you in anything else outside of that.
Sure.
We saw that with Michael Richards.
Yeah.
We see that with my friend Jason Alexander to a degree. He's a great actor, but when you do characters and you become known for a character that's sort of bigger than life,
sure,
you become identifiable with that. So it's always a bit of a struggle to try to find your way out of that, to do different things. We all want to, none of us got in this business to essentially be doing a 9-to-5 job. We want to do things that are different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man.
But I did find that, sitcoms, that was just sort of easy money for me. That's where the doors open for me.
Yeah.
A lot of the other doors I have to kind of shove my foot in and open them up and say, hey, will you let me try this?
Right.
But
do you ever write your own material, or do you have buddies who write for you? Like, do you like what?
Just kind of too lazy.
Lazy. You don't need to.
Well, I don't know. I have found that the writing is the #1 commodity. You can take 5 Academy award-winning actors, and put them in a movie that's not a great screenplay, and it will be a mediocre at best.
Of course, yeah.
You could take 5 actors that nobody's ever heard of, and they're inexperienced, but maybe but if the material is really clever, all of a sudden you've got a film that everybody's watching because it's the story, it's all the writing. And so I found in my trying to get involved in producing and developing projects that the material writing is paramount, and the good stuff gets snatched right away. And if you get your hands on a good piece of writing, then that's the gold. That's the gold right there.
Cool. So Lemony Snicket, how did that come about? How did a series of unfortunate events unfold? And which I got to tell you, my 12-year-old daughter Josie, who I think is watching right now, freaked the frick out when she realized that I knew you, and you've been nice and made a couple video messages for her. But what a cool show! What a well-made, well-crafted. It's just its own world, and it's very clever. And Josie is saying hi right now. If you don't mind saying hi to my daughter Josie.
Hi,
Josie.
Wonderful. Hello.
It's
How
Lemony
are ya?
Snicket, honey.
Josie, I thought I told you to watch something more pleasant than the sad lives of the Baudelaire orphans. But anyways, you didn't listen.
Thanks, Patrick. Josie owe me, baby.
Hey, that's the great Barry Sonnenfeld. And Barry Sonnenfeld is, got such an amazing career. He just wrote his book, and it is the funniest, weirdest, most candid, awesome. You really can't put it down. And I posted it a few times, and of course he did mention me in his book, which I think just basically beating me at leg wrestling. That's a thing of his. But Barry was one of these genius DPs for years. A lot of people don't know this, but he actually got his start filming pornography.
Really?
And then went from that to being the Coen brothers DP. So he DP'd all the Coen brothers films, from Blood Simple to Miller's Crossing.
You know what? Lemony Snicket is definitely evokes the Coen brothers.
So that was Barry. He was the DP everybody wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked with everybody, from Penny Marshall to he DP'd her films, and worked with Tom Hanks and all those folks.
Right. Anyone we would have heard of?
Then he what's that? Oh, other films?
No, any of the actors we would. Yeah. I'm kidding. You have a dog barking.
Yeah, we have 5 dogs now. This is what a bored quarantine family does. They get another dog. We had 4 dogs at the beginning of this, and now we have 5. Okay. I'll introduce you to the newest one too, because she fits in the palm of your hand. Everybody's gonna go, oh.
People have been asking for the puppy.
Here she comes. Here she comes.
She's flying in.
All right. Oh my goodness.
Hello. Oh, cutie.
Yeah, she's a little one.
Nice. That's
my
this?
Son Shane.
How's it going?
Shane, how's it going, man? Shane just got accepted into the Navy officer training, and he's going to be a pilot. He is a pilot, but
please knock it off.
All right.
Oh, stop.
He's very humble. Very humble.
Nice. That's badass. And you got a house full, eh? How many people are in your house right now? You and your wife and at least 2 kids, and 5 dogs.
4 of us right now, sometimes 6. My son, Gabriel, is with his girlfriend right now at her house. So that he quarantines there with her and her parents, or here.
Okay.
And then my daughter lives with her boyfriend in Los Angeles, and he's an EMT. So we're just not allowing them over here right now, I guess.
So you got an EMT, a pilot, an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 4, correct?
There's 4
children?
Yeah. So 2 actors.
2 actors, okay.
And then my daughter is an accountant.
Okay.
And but that just doesn't do her justice, because she's so talented. She's beautiful, has an amazing singing voice. She was going into the nursing program and was excelling at the top of her class, and decided that wasn't for her a few years ago.
Okay.
But she loves numbers, so she's an accountant, but she's a great singer.
Wait,
All right.
What did you say the reason was that she stopped?
Yeah.
She was academically at the top of her class, but she just didn't like bodily fluids.
She didn't like the influence.
She didn't like bodily fluids. She had a problem. When it came to real nursing, she had it. Yeah.
Right. All right.
She's like,
it's your daughter. I'm not going to make jokes.
Yeah. This is a great picture. So look at this. So that's me and her, but that was an actual picture of us, and then she drew it for me for my birthday.
Very nice.
Yeah,
that's sweet. That's sweet. So you are obviously you are instilling in your kids that you're supporting wherever they want to go. Correct?
Yeah.
That's
they're
pretty
all so
sweet.
different. They all are following their dreams, and that's what this life's for, I think. You know.
Yeah, yeah. That's sort of the theme of all this. I'm talking to Patrick Warburton, the Joe to my Cleveland, and tell me about Family Guy. So, did you? How did you know what? I was there on the first. I think Joe appeared. His first episode was called "A Hero Sits Next Door,"
Yeah.
and Joe. We were kind of rounding out Peter Griffin's buddies, and Seth already had Quagmire in the wheelhouse, and I was in the writers' room, and I came up with Cleveland, who was based on, and he's a combination of several people I'd met, and then Joe. Joe was like Superman in a wheelchair was how he was originally concocted. And so did you come in and audition for that, or how did that happen?
I don't recall that. I thought that it was an offer.
It probably was.
Yeah, it was an offer, and I saw the material, and then and I thought that it was pretty out there, and I thought, oh, this is fun and interesting and dangerous. So,
yes.
But I thought, sure. But I'm so glad that came about, and I love Seth. I find he's such a loyal dude. I remember in the early days. I mean, I did that show for the first few years, getting paid. This is a prime time, Fox cartoon, and I got scale the first few years.
Right.
I
did too.
And I remember Seth one time over whiskey drinks saying, why aren't you getting paid? And I go, they don't want to pay me. And then he looks at me and goes, what are they going to do, fire you?
There you go.
I go, well, thank you, Seth. Now I don't get what you series regulars get, but I've gotten better because Seth had my back. Like Seth's got all his friends' backs, and he is a super cool guy. Now it's so funny though because before he became like a huge star, I feel like I had more communication with him. And now like I'll go to his birthday party and I'm like the geek who walks up to him and I'll be like, "You hosted the Academy Awards. You know what that's like?" He'll be like, "Yeah, that's something." And then he'll like, "I got to go talk to Leo over here." Yeah. He hammered me like at the Christmas party because I met Leo DiCaprio at the Christmas party in front of him, and I shook his hand and I go, "Hey, how are you?" And Seth goes, "Boy, I've never seen you so cordial." And I'm like, "Shut up!" I go, "It's Leo. Come on."
Chopping you off at the knees, putting you in your wheelchair.
Yeah, he's in the Titanic.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Leo's at a lot of Seth's parties.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they got so tight, but they did. I do remember, it's funny you mentioned Luke Perry. So early on, I knew Seth when he was in college. He went to RISD with my brother, and they were very good friends.
Who was?
What's that?
Luke?
No, Seth.
Oh,
Seth went to RISD, Rhode Island School of Design, studied film and animation, and he was very good friends with my brother Patrick. And so I knew Seth when he was, just an awkward, kid, just incredibly creative dude. And, then he got the gig then he sold Family Guy. And then I remember during the first season, we were there till we were there till midnight every night and just trying to get this thing defined and get it figured out and bring it all to life. And Seth left early one night to go have drinks with Luke Perry. And Seth was, just very, I'm going to have drinks with Luke Perry. Like he was super, he had a little swagger of who he was going to go hang with. And, and now he's got Leo coming to his party. So it's, a completely different deal. But I don't know. I thought that was amusing. Maybe it's this Casamigos that's starting to get to me.
No, it is. I love that, when you go back and you just see, because back earlier in the day, I think I remember even Seth being interested every now and then in like what I was up to or what I was doing. And then it just sort of all transpired, or, transverse to where like Seth was just running the business,
It's truly amazing. It's truly amazing. And to your point earlier, he is an extremely loyal guy and has stayed very loyal to me for sure, to the point where I even got him on this thing for 20 minutes on Monday night. You know, because it's hard to, he's just so busy and he's so driven, you know, and that's what we were talking about is, you know, sort of the structure for a lot of these is you find what your passion is and you get away from your fear and you follow it and you persevere by working and just dealing with failure over and over and getting to where you want to be, and then you're doing what you want to do and you're calling some shots.
Yeah.
So you know, Seth works so freaking hard. He is always working on the Orville. He's writing, he's directing, he's starring in the thing and dealing with production all the time, and then still doing all the voices on Family Guy and American Dad, doing record albums, starring in miniseries with Russell Crowe, you know, and just has this new development deal. He's developing more stuff. The guy just works all the freaking time.
He's worked really hard, and if anybody thinks it's an accident, it is not a happy accident.
No.
He's worked hard. But it's a combination of having the talent and working, you know, because music's always inspired him, and musicals and this and that.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing singer. Amazing. And he's been able to realize so many dreams and do very, very well at all of them, you know.
Yeah, no, and hosted the Oscars, hosted SNL as a warm up to that. You know, what a resume. So but through it all, he stays loyal when the chips are down and you know, you need somebody to go to bat for you for whatever, you know, for a whatever situation, he's there and he supports you. So, all right, Seth, you're really great. Okay, I know you're walking. But yeah. So, have you ever, by chance, worked with Craig Robinson, or do you know Craig?
Yeah, I worked with Craig on a film called Lost in Austin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think that's the one time I think that I've worked with him.
Okay. Yeah, he came on Tuesday. He played Freight Train Brown, who was Cleveland's dad, sort of a Jim Brown, just a total hard ass, just called Cleveland a puss all the time, and was very funny at it. And we had a great chat the other night. He was a school teacher in Chicago, and did stand up on, you know, at night, and went to Montreal and got discovered and moved to LA. And then and you know Gary Janetti.
Gary Janetti had the most dangerous, gnarly Twitter feed there ever was, and it was so funny. Yeah, I don't follow much of that stuff anymore. I don't know. Did he ever like tone it down? Or it was just so funny, but I think it was edgy.
Yeah, I would say bitchy would be the PG word for the attitude. Now he's got the Instagram account. I don't know if you follow it, but he puts words in the mouth of little Prince George, and sort of has turned him into a little bitch about the whole royal family and whatever current event is going on. It's freaking hilarious, and it's blown up, and he's actually making an animated show about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gary along the way had, you know, he had a lot of jobs as a bellman, as a waiter, as a I can't even remember what else, but he had a long journey to find his way as well. And you know, you are like Seth. Seth knew at a very young age. Seth was drawing cartoons at 2, he said. He'd be watching the Flintstones and sort of approximate what he was seeing with a pen and paper. And you know, no turning back for that guy. So
I couldn't draw stick figures till I was about 6 or 7.
Yeah, I that's what I can do right now. But yeah, so yeah, man, this is a cool hang. This is a cool hang. Are you recording? Do they have you recording temp lines at home now for Family Guy?
Yeah, I've been working with
Patrick Clark,
and so trying to get set up to record from here. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'll be connecting with him tomorrow. But pretty cool that animation can keep moving right now. That we can do that. Yeah. Is anybody going into the fort, or are they?
I don't think so. No, I think once California locked down, they weren't able to do that. So I think it actually might just be Patrick going in. I'm not sure how they're doing that, but it's you know, it's a safe situation. But I guess they're going to use whatever we record to draw. You know, as we record our voice, and we all do it individually anyway.
Yep.
And so then they assemble the radio play and then they animate that. And I think, we'll just have to go back in later and do it with a better quality or something, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So it's all temps. I think they want to see if they can't use it though, right?
Oh, is that right?
I think.
All right.
Maybe.
Fuck it, man. Hey, I don't give a shit. I'll read the. What's your line? All right. I'll read. Oh, Peter, come here. What else? Okay, next.
Cleveland. I miss the Klan.
Joe, I love your height, Joe. You're right there. So you're famous. Was it your mom who was upset about you working on the show that says all the terrible things?
Oh, my parents hate it. So this is, I don't know if you can see, that's my mother with James Garner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jim Rockford.
Yep. When they did John Loves Mary together. And then this is my mother on Gunsmoke. Can you see that?
Tilt it down a little bit. That is cool. Holy crap.
Yeah. So that's her with James Arnaz on Gunsmoke. And
she did some Alfred Hitchcock theater too. She was kind of a Grace Kelly ingenue type.
She was a Grace Kelly ingenue type, as my wife says. And
Wow.
She did some Alfred Hitchcock and Presents, and she did One Step Beyond and Dobie Gillis and old shows in the day. But then she had me and then my 3 younger sisters.
So I've seen some comments. I've seen beautiful, wow, and MILF.
Yeah, she's beautiful. In fact, it was who was it? Who am I thinking of? That told her she was a spitting image or reminded him of Grace Kelly was he did a Hitchcock movie with he was the very, very charismatic star, Cary Grant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. So, and what was your dad? What was your dad doing?
My father's a surgeon.
Okay. Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You got some genes, dude.
He did not want her in the business though, and that was it. Because she was with MCA. She had the same agents as like Brando and Dean, and they had a year's worth of work lined up for her. And my dad said, "Nope, that's it. You're coming back," because he was in New York. And he knew what he was doing. He got her pregnant 4 years in a row, and that was the end of her career.
That's yeah. He's that's the grand slam right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but I mean, I never got to see her work professionally growing up. She would do community theater, which was fun for her. So I would go see her do, a British farce, like see how they run at the Westminster Community Theater when I was 13 years old. And so that looked fun to me. And
yeah, so you got a taste of that.
I was a tiny little geek with my Coke bottle glasses, and I had no friends, and I collected stamps and coins, and I had nowhere to go except like hang out at play rehearsals with my mother. So, that's what was sort of my, inspiration early on was like, oh, could you actually be an actor? Yeah.
Did you?
My mother told me when I was, 11 years old that she'd given me to the Lord and that I was going to be a priest.
Oh,
you don't do it to an 11-year-old. And I thought, so I don't have a choice. And I go, well, I like movies. Could I run a drive-in? Could I have a job? Could I run the projector at a drive-in movie theater? And she said, sure. And so when I was 11 years old, I was going to be a priest who ran the projector at a drive-in movie theater.
Wow. I'd hate to mop.
That's sad.
I'd hate to mop the floor there.
I'm not gonna decipher that one.
Don't. Wow. So no wonder your parents were upset about some of the stuff on Family Guy.
Hated it.
Yeah. My mom is Catholic and doesn't like a lot of the jokes. She gave up though on trying to contain what I was going to do. But yeah, same type of thing. And you know what? They're jokes. And I know that there are a couple that.
I got tired of explaining satire to them. I go, well, look, it is offensive, and they're an equal opportunity offender, and they offend everybody, every religion, everything. But remember one time my father called and left a message on my phone, and he just said, Patrick, In a future episode of Family Guy, God is sitting in a lazy boy chair next to a bottle of lotion, getting ready to masturbate. I wish you'd get off that show. Click. That was it.
Wow. You know what? It's funny.
And money signed a petition from the council to get the show off the air.
Right. Well, I've been doing these live shows with Barry Martyr, who's Jerry Seinfeld's producing partner. His pen name's Ted L. Nancy.
Okay.
And so in the show, I talk a lot about mom and dad and the irony, the cruel irony. They forever wanted me to get off the show, but then, I was having to support them in my father's latter years because he had to retire and they ran out of money. And so, essentially I'm supporting them with Family Guy money.
The devil's money.
The devil's money. And my mom's still donating to things like the Parents Television Council.
That's funny.
Trying to get Family Guy off the air. And
yeah.
I go, Mom, if you can't see the irony in this, I will talk about it publicly.
Right. Love it. I don't generally make too many jokes about God. I do believe in God, but when not crazy about organized religion, but when Jesus came back, I guess in a Family Guy episode, and he was like 2.5 feet tall because people were smaller then, like everybody's just couldn't figure out what's going on, so they just had like this very tiny Jesus. It was very funny, but you gotta laugh, and you know what, as far as all that goes, you just gotta live as you oughta. I don't know. I don't try to decipher it any further than that. And don't mean to go down a track of religion. I don't want to talk about that or politics on this show. So talking with my buddy Patrick Warburton here about life and Family Guy and acting. And do you ever get people asking you for advice? Obviously your kids do about things, but do people?
Kids don't. No, my kids do not ask me for
They don't want to hear that shit.
They don't want to hear it. No.
Yeah. My son doesn't either.
And I have 2 sons that are actors, and the last thing they want me to do is look at anything they're working on or give them any advice whatsoever.
Right. But do you have other people coming to you and say, hey, guy, who do I do? Should I take acting? What do you tell? What does it all boil down to? What do you tell people?
Well, for me, Mike, I just say, look, this is what I did. I've got an acting workshops, and if you can do showcases, do that. The best thing you can do is theater. And there is, even though Los Angeles isn't the theater town that New York is, there's still lots of great little 99-seat houses, and the best experience I got in the early days was just doing some crappy little play in Santa Monica Boulevard.
Doing it.
In an unair-conditioned theater where we'd sweat our asses off. And
yeah.
But it was a great experience, and it just getting up every night and working on material in front of people, it's just the best work you can do, and stuff like that, then that helps you get to the next step, and it was just commercial calls. It's just, it's an uphill battle. But I did have other jobs, when we got married and we started having kids, there were times when I had to do other things to help supplement my income. I drove a limo for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I waited tables for like 2 weeks at one point, and then they told me I had to cut my hair. It's back when I had really nice, long, lovely hair.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm not going to. And I left. And then, but I had to do other things. What were some of the other jobs you had?
Let's see. My first job ever was a paper route, which I did in the morning. And then I worked at a grocery store where I met an old man who talked like Herbert. And then I turned him into a pedophile and into the writer's room. And then I was a phone operator. I answered the phones at my college for a couple of years at night for a few hours. I would just sit in this empty building doing my homework or whatever, and I'd answer the phone and connect. I worked at a clothing store, worked in advertising, waited tables, did some modeling. You've done some modeling. I did shit modeling. I'm the guy from the electric company here to fix your thing, shaking hands with somebody in a brochure. You did some real modeling, didn't you?
I did do some modeling, yes, back in the day.
You had your long hair and you were all jacked up. You looked good. I saw you on the internet there when my wife wasn't home.
Yeah, I did. It was something. It was so funny. I hid it for like years. I never wanted to talk about it or address it. you
Mm-hmm.
know, because there was always that stereotype. It's like, oh, you want to be an actor now? So you were a model. You thought you'd dabble in some commercial work, and you thought, oh, I'll try some acting.
Right.
It's sort of maybe the stereotype. It was just, look, I had some opportunities. I did it. I went to Europe for a while and did some print work, and that did not go great, but it was a cool experience. But I remember when I was 20 years old, I went there and ended up doing like a Duran Duran video, which was kind of cool.
What song was it?
It actually wasn't Duran Duran. It was Simon Le Bon and Nick Rhodes, and they did a song called Election Day.
Okay.
And so it's the guys from Duran Duran, and you can see the video, and there's centaurs in it, and I was one of the centaurs.
Nice.
So I literally was wearing a horse's head. So there's a couple of guys wearing it, so I can't even tell which legs are mine. I just go, I'm one of the centaurs. That's
right.
It.
Sweet. That's hot stuff, man. Yeah. So then, let's see. I'm trying to track so you started acting in plays, you did some modeling, then you started doing the sitcoms.
Yeah.
And other voice work, and that's pretty sweet, dude.
Yeah. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, were you in Barry Sonnenfeld's early films as a model? I'm just kidding. She wrote porn films on there. Somebody did, and I had the joke a second ago, but you know what? This stuff takes, like, I have something in the chamber, like a joke ready to go, and I keep forgetting them. So I don't know about this tequila stuff. I feel good though. I feel great. I love being with you.
It's good stuff. I didn't drink tequila for decades because that's what almost killed me in my youth. And then I turned around because I started getting bored with vodka, and I went back to tequila. But
have you done improv? Somebody just threw up improv. Did you do any kind of groundlings?
Back in the day, I was in the Comedy Store Players, at the Comedy Store for a minute. And I did stand up for a minute when I was, 20, 21. And then regretfully put that one down, because that's a great thing to just be able to do, to be able to have. And so I've had to start actually doing it again for the first time in 35 years, because
you're hosting things?
When I opened the show, Letters from a Nut, essentially the first 10, 15 minutes of the show is just walking on stage and doing sort of stand-up.
Right.
And that was just terrifying at first, but then
right.
it's so much fun. It is fun. I just find that the best way to go is just with really honest, candid stuff, and and I try to approach it that way.
Right. But
I'm doing it. I'm doing that now for the first time in forever. Yeah.
Right. So the Tick. How did the Tick come about?
That was the first opportunity I ever had to work with Barry Sonnenfeld.
Got it.
I met him on that.
And so the original title was the Dick, right? And then he went legit with his career. Was that?
This was. I see where you're going there, Mike. I see where you're going.
Well, it's obvious where I'm going.
It's obvious. No, because Ben Edlund and Barry had gotten together, and so we were going to do a live action version of the Tick, and I met them, and they decided that I was the Tick. So I got to work with Barry and Ben, and it was a great experience. We did 9 episodes. It was so much fun. I went from that. I got to do Big Trouble with Barry, which was a movie, and then we did Men in Black 2. And then we didn't end up working together again until a series of unfortunate events. So,
yes.
Needless to say, I adore Barry. I'm so thankful for any opportunity I've ever had to work with Barry, because he's a genius. And he kind of sees things that others don't. Like over at Netflix, I wouldn't have been on their top 500 list, to play Lemony Snicket.
Right.
And it's like, that he decided, as did the author of the books, that I was writing, because he had seen Daniel Handler, who wrote the books, had seen The Woman Chaser, which was a film I did, and he thought about me for Lemony, as did Barry, and they both decided that I was to be Lemony, but then they had to get through Netflix and say, no, this is who Lemony is, because their list would not have even included me.
Right. Well, it's not because I've been drinking, but you're friggin' right on the money on that. I mean, it's perfect. I can't imagine anybody else doing it.
Well, thanks, Mike. It was,
Yeah.
Barry makes everybody look better too, so he does. He's got a way of, directing and working with cameras and directing.
Right.
He does, yeah.
So, all right. So back to my theme of my show, which is following your passion. So you're kind of living it. You're passionate about your acting work. You will always like to do new things. You're passionate about your charity work, which is, awesome. And I think once you get to a stage, you start doing that more, which, I started doing a while back. And you, at least for me, I just feel so fortunate that, you start looking at the world around you once you can stop focusing everything you do about, on yourself. And what else? What's obviously your family. So you're passionate about your work, your charity, your family, and you got anything left what direction are you going in? Anything you really want to do that you haven't?
Well, just anything that's interesting, or different. I was sort of sworn off of sitcoms for a while, but I do like that lifestyle. I consider doing that again, because
The lifestyle being where there's someone telling a group of people to laugh at what you say.
yeah, well,
I'm just kidding.
the lifestyle of working 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
3 weeks on, 1 week off.
Yeah.
Every month. You have a week vacation every month, and
Right.
and the workload's easy. I mean, when you work on a sitcom, you go to work, you're home, you can actually maybe play golf and still be at home for dinner with your family.
Yeah.
It's just, and there's nothing else around. Whenever you're shooting single camera, those are long days. And features, you're on location and working. But sitcom, it's a really nice, easy way of life.
You know what you should try to get into is voiceover work, because that doesn't take long at all.
It doesn't, in voiceover work too. So if you're doing sitcoms and voiceover work, you are busying yourself with the two, let's say, just least time-consuming gigs.
Yeah. Someone's asking here if you work out in spandex or sweatpants.
Nice, long like board shorts.
Board shorts? Okay. Yeah. Like bra short,
yes.
bra shorts.
Yes.
Who convinced you to get into voice acting?
Okay, Kathy wants credit for convincing me to get into voice acting.
Okay.
She said you should be doing cartoons and stuff, and I said okay.
Yeah. Were you? Forgive me, and I should know the answer to this. Were you the Incredibles guy?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good. Well, then we don't need to talk about that shit.
No, but I've been mistaken for that. But you know who I get mistaken for all the time?
No.
The father in American Dad.
Oh yeah. That's.
They'll be like, that is just Seth doing me.
Well, we'll leave that alone. But yeah, no, that's a taxing voice to do. He's got to just get real deep and yell a lot. And when I record, if there's anything that I have to yell, in scripts that day, that's last. Because I can't. That's just rough on Seth, is what I'm saying. That's a lot. That's a big yelly voice.
He works so hard. He should just let me do American Dad, and then
there you go. There you go. Why not?
He's too busy.
All right, talk to him. Yeah, man. So what else? What else is going on? How are you passing your time right now? And how do you find this time? Do you find this time? I find it oddly sort of positive in many ways. Again, a recalibration. I'm like thinking about things that I would just waste a lot of time on before all this, and I'm just really enjoying the family and sort of just recalibrating and helping out too. I know this is just a shit time for a lot of people, so please don't think that I'm oblivious to that. But how are you feeling about this time?
Well, we've sort of been making lemonade out of lemons, I guess. We've had Shane here, who's, he went to Embry-Riddle his first year, and and then went on a semester at sea, and then he's been going to American University in DC for the last few years. So he came out for spring break, and then he's just stayed since then. So
you're
we've had
loving
a
it.
great time getting to hang out with Shane,
Yeah,
and Town, Gabriel, and Lexi some of the time, you know, you know, with the family and 5 dogs now, you know, we've done okay. So
And they're all rescue dogs.
and they're all rescue dogs.
Oh, good
5
for you.
rescue dogs.
Good for you. We have 2 bred dogs. We have 2 labs from the same litter, so we're, you know, they're still cool. We're still good people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
What kind of dogs do you have?
I have 2 labs. I've got a yellow and a black. They're from the same litter.
Labs are great. I grew up with a lab. Yeah. Luke.
Yeah.
Cool hand Luke.
Luke? Yeah, we have Wayne. Wayne is the blonde, and then Sissy is the black, named for being Wayne's sister by my son, who was 4.
Well, our dogs have been, these are the names of our dogs have been Ginger, Angel.
Hey, Shelby.
Charlotte.
Shelby,
Lizzie,
say hi to Shelby. Somebody wants Joe to say hi to Shelby.
Misty. Hey, Shelby.
Oh, hey, Shelby. Sorry. Go ahead. Misty.
How are you?
Misty.
Listen, Ginger, Angel, Charlotte, Misty, Blue, or as I like to refer to them as the girls of Vivid.
I was going to say they sound like 70s hookers.
Those sound like stripper names.
They were like they were the rest of the 10 Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Not that those were strippers or hookers.
No.
Never mind. God. Weren't the 70s great for pop culture? Just having Charlie's Angels and then like Evel Knievel and Muhammad Ali, and you know, people would win a team would win the World Series and the whole stands would, you know, run on the field. Like there was so much cool stuff to look at on TV.
You know, my kids today, they don't get it. No.
They don't get it. They're all on their fucking phones, like us. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick, anything else, man? I think we're gonna get cut off for sure in a few minutes, but
Well, it's been great, Mike.
Yeah, this is cool.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Stay safe. We'll keep following the rules. We'll do what they tell us to do.
The rules of engagement, or as we call it, the stools of engagement when we're making bathroom jokes.
All right.
Well, hey, man.
My good friend Seth. We wouldn't even know each other if it wasn't for the great Seth MacFarlane.
Yes, God bless Seth, who doesn't believe in him. Yeah, Patrick, thanks a ton.
You know what? I think my mother still prays for Seth.
Hey, man.
And I think that it's working. It's working.
All right. Oh, Josie says thank you for coming on. So
well, Josie, it was my pleasure. Anytime I get to hang out with your pop, even if it's virtually.
There you go. All right. I got Jay Lee on tomorrow night, same time. And, you know, you're the best, brother. I appreciate you.
Brother.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
Mike. You too.
Much love to you and your family. Hang in.